Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Wednesday, January 25th slate of NBA action. I'm super excited to dive into it. We have a pretty good slate of games on. I think it's like 10 games, so it should be a really good day, especially as a true basketball fan. But before we go ahead and dive into our picks, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still currently on the road to 11,000 subscribers. Less than 100 subscribers away at the time of recording this video. So if you do want to go ahead and help out, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do, and thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me, so much more than you guys will ever know. So without any further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and say this flat out. We haven't been good, okay? But the thing is, a lot of these plays have been so incredibly close. These books are razor sharp, like ridiculously razor sharp, to where they are finishing on the hook night in and night out. So we're going to go ahead and turn it around. I'm changing up a few things. A lot of times I look for really good matchups. A lot of times I look for really bad matchups to go ahead and target. We're switching that up because clearly something's got to change, and it's just going to be a matter of what it is. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and make a deal here. As of right now, at the time of recording this, it is going to be Wednesday when you guys see this video. So, for the rest of the week, we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have 5 days left in the week. I am promising you guys right now that I am going to be changing things around and having a winning week from now until Sunday. So over the course of the next 5 days, we will have a winning record. And if we don't, I will be giving away $50 on Monday. Yes, you guys heard it here. If we do not have a winning record, and of course I will be keeping track of it, between now and Sunday night, I will be giving away $50 in Monday's video. So make sure that if you guys are interested, if you guys are wanting a chance to be able to win that $50 if we don't have a winning rest of the week, make sure you guys do go ahead and hit that sub button, because I'm giving it away to a random subscriber. We'll talk about it on Monday, but I'm done losing. I know it's been bad, but I am locked in. I'm laser focused. I'm dialed in. I'm studying these lines. I'm studying the matchups, and I think we've got some really good ones today. So let's go ahead and dive into a recap from yesterday. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. We'll talk about our one win of the day. We have Bradley Beal under 23.5 points versus Dallas at minus 105. That one did end up working out for us. He finishes right with 22. He really started getting things clicking in the fourth quarter, though. Finished very, very close. I think he scored most of, I think he's had like 6 or 8 points in the fourth quarter. So he had a pretty good fourth quarter, but he was able to keep it under for us, thankfully. But then we had 2 really tough beats. I can't even lie to you. I'm not trying to make excuses, but realistically, we had 2 really, really tough beats. We had Donovan Mitchell over 25.5 points versus New York at minus 125. It was a very close game between these two teams. Donovan Mitchell ends up shooting 3 shots in the clutch, not necessarily the greatest shots, and none of them ended up falling. And I guess during that game, I'll be honest, I didn't get to catch the end of this game just because I had a couple other things going on. But I guess he did end up getting hurt in this game. I don't know. I hope it's nothing serious. I love Donovan Mitchell, but I guess he did end up getting hurt in this game. And I don't know if that would have hindered him or, if anything would have truly happened. But I did see somebody comment and say that he did end up getting injured. So finishes with 24 points, just shy of this number. Definitely tough. But then we had our worst beat, I think, of the entire year. We had Miles Turner over 7.5 rebounds versus my Chicago Bulls at minus 115. A stat correction. A literal stat correction in this game really screwed us because Miles Turner at one point in time had 8 rebounds. And then after the game was over, they switched it over and took away his rebound and made it to 7. And if you take a look at action right now, they say that he still has 8 rebounds. So according to action, you won. According to CBS and ESPN, the box scores, they said he only has 7. It's just so frustrating. It's incredibly frustrating, especially when you lose not only on the hook, but because of a stat correction. what in the world is all that about? So I'm going to go ahead and count it as a loss, because according to Action, you win, and according to the box scores, you lost. So I'm going with ESPN. It says that he finished right with 7, so that's what we're going with. But we ended up going 1-2 on our day. Let's go ahead and turn things around. So without any further ado, let's dive into it. Our first official play of the day, our Kings kill shot play of the day. We are going to be taking Steph Curry over 6.5 assists here versus the Memphis Grizzlies at minus 130 odds. He has gone over this line in 2 straight games. He does love to finish right at 7 though, so more than likely it'll be another hook. But he has also covered in 4 out of his last 5 matchups here versus Memphis. A pretty good matchup here for him, and Steph Curry has a monstrous games versus Memphis. Go ahead and take a look at his box score, or his game logs versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Excuse me. He has really good games, so I don't mind his rebounds plus assists. I think that was my second lean, but I also don't mind his PRAs. I think he does have a really good game. I just don't know if I would go strictly points. Don't know if that's necessarily the greatest look on that, but I do love the assists. I don't mind the rebounds. I like the rebounds plus assists, but I think that the absolute lock of Steph Curry stats is going to be his assists. He is more than likely going to be drawing a Desmond Bane or Dylan Brooks matchup, obviously both very positive defenders, and with that being said, it may make it a little bit tougher on Steph Curry. Now, could Steph Curry go ahead and drop 50? Absolutely, and decide that he doesn't want to pass the ball, but he has a very tough matchup on him, and I think this is going to leave a lot of his teammates open. I think it's going to lead to a lot of Steph Curry driving kicks, or even, just passing around the perimeter. I think that this is a really good spot here to be taking an over on a guy that does have a lot of assist opportunities in general, and Memphis does also allow the 11th most assists per game to opposing point guards. Just outside that top 10, this is going to be a very marquee matchup here for both sides, and I think that Steph Curry does end up getting it done here for us. I really like this play. I think that Steph Curry has a tougher matchup on him, going to be forced to be a little bit more passive, and I think that a lot of these role players for the Warriors are going to have really good nights. So I really do like this one for our first official play of the day, our Kings kill shot play of the day. Steph Curry over 6.5 assists here versus Memphis, a minus 130 odds. Now for our second official play of the day, we are taking Gary Trent Jr. over 19.5 points here versus Sacramento at minus 110 odds. Now Gary Trent Jr. has gone over this in 2 straight games, and he's gone over this in 8 out of his last 11 home games. Gary Trent Jr. has been very, very good to this line, and I think this is a really good spot to be able to target it once again. The line is just a little bit too low. I know that Fred VanVleet and some of the other Raptors players have been playing pretty well, but so has Gary Trent, and the shot attempts are there. He's averaging 16.4 field goal attempts per game, and 8 of those are coming from the three-point line. So I think this is a really good spot because the Kings, they allowed the 7th most points per game to opposing shooting guards on the year, and in the last 3 games, they allowed the 4th most points from the three-point line. So they give up a ton of threes, which is something that Gary Trent Jr. loves to shoot. They give up a ton of points, and sign me up. I think it's a really good matchup here. 239 over under. Sacramento is also top 10 when it comes to pace, so they are one of the fastest paced teams in all of basketball. I don't see why Gary Trent Jr. can't get 20 for us. I think this is a perfect spot to be taking an over for him. So that is going to be our second official play of the day. Gary Trent Jr. over 19.5 points here versus Sacramento at minus 110 odds. Now for our third and final play of the day, we are going to be going to a spread pick. We are taking the Magic minus 4.5 here versus the Pacers at minus 110 odds. Now, this is the ultimate definition of what I would call a trap line, and both of these teams are heading in very opposite directions. The Magic, they are trending in the right direction. They've covered in 6 out of their last 8 games, and Indiana is trending in the wrong direction. They have covered in only 2 of their last 9. You can tell that Tyrese Haliburton not being on the floor has been very tough for this Indiana team, and I don't expect anything to change here. Orlando is starting to get healthy again. They just got Jonathan Isaac back, and I think that this is a really good spot to take a young, deep Magic roster and take them against the Indiana Pacers. Orlando is also 15-9 against the spread at home this year. They've been a very good home team. I think, if I remember correctly, I didn't write it down unfortunately, but I think they were that was 6th in the NBA when it comes to against the spread records. So Orlando's been very good at home this year. Indiana, not so much on the road. They're 11 and 13 against the spread on the road, and it's been very, very bad here recently on the road. So I think this is a good spot to be taking the Magic. And Orlando is 11, 5 and 1 against the spread after a win, which they did end up having versus Boston, which was an absolutely massive win. So I do think it's a really good spot here to be taking this Magic roster. I think that they can get it done by at least 5 points. It looks like things are really starting to kick up for this team, and I think that they do end up keep going. So that is going to be our third and final play of the day. Magic -4.5 here versus the Pacers at -110 odds. Now, for our consensus play of the day, we are going to be going to the Nets and the 76ers game. Currently, KD is still out, of course. And Joel Embiid, it looks like he is listed as questionable. So with that being said, it could affect things a little bit if Joel Embiid does end up playing. But I think that this line is indicating that he does play. So we are all on the 76ers. I just think that this Brooklyn Nets team without KD versus a very good 76ers team with a questionable Joel Embiid, I think he does end up playing. And I think it's just going to be tough for the Nets to be able to keep up with him. So that is going to be our consensus play of the day. 76ers -5.5 here versus the Nets at -110 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are still currently on the road to 11,000 subscribers, and we are less than 100 subscribers away at the time of recording this video. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. If you guys are also interested in movies at all, I do have my second channel. It is going to be linked down below. Me and two of my friends, we do end up talking about movies and TV shows and the whole 9 yards. So if you guys are interested in something like that, make sure you guys do go ahead and check out that channel. But that is going to do it for me. This is King Center signing out. Peace.